Hi and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Manon and I'm a programmer, horsey girl and a knitter, and it's of course the knitting that we talk about on this channel. For today I've got my very first project vlog and I was intending to record this part very much at the start when I started knitting this or when I started swatching, and then I never did, and it was quite a quick project, and so here we are. And I'm recording this on the day that this video is going live, and I finished the project yesterday. So what you're going to see me knit in the next half an hour is the Alvar dog sweater. And this is, of course, a sweater for dogs. It's a pattern by Sari Nordlund, and it's for Archie because I only have one dog. And Archie is here. Oh, there we go. Oh, don't worry, Archie can just sit here. And we just gave Archie a bit of a trim because he was getting too hot when the sun was out, but it means that he's a little bit cold when the sun is not out, or yeah, in general when he's not in the sun, he's a little bit on the cold side. He's getting older, and in previous years this was not really the case, but seeing him this year, I decided it was high time to knit him a jumper, and so that's what I did. So the pattern uses two pairs of needles. One, I think, is 3mm. The other, no, I'm saying this wrong. 3.5 and 3mm, I think. I'm not 100% sure anymore, but something like that. And knowing Sari Nordlund patterns, her gauge can be quite loose. So I made sure to swatch, but I messed up a bit. Let me show you. I first started on the recommended needles, and in fact I'm going to be able to tell you, no, this is wrong. No, that's not my first swatch. I was wrong. The recommended needles is 4mm and 3.5. So my very first swatch, and the way that I know this, if you watch my podcast, you know that I add little knots. It's not focusing, of course, but there we go. I add little knots in the strands that are attached to my swatches, and on one end, like this one, 4, and on the other end 0, means that this was knit on 4mm needles. This was not the right gauge. It was too tight, and this is the part where I messed up a bit. One of the parts I messed up a bit is that I thought, oh, I need it to be looser, so let's go to smaller needles, which makes absolutely no sense. But of course, that was way too small and very, very, very tight. And so I realized, oh, I need to go up in needle size. And so I went up to 5mm, and I did hit gauge. I did one thing wrong here, is I did not block this, as you can see, because it all rolls up, but I did not block it. So that is mistake number 2. But there we go. This did hit gauge, so I was happy, and I was a bit in a rush to cast this on because it is spring, so it could have easily gotten warmer and the dog would never have worn this sweater until autumn. So in my rush to get started, I did not block this, and you'll see at the end of this video, I think it might have some negative repercussions, but you'll see. I'm knitting this in a superwash yarn because Archie is a dog. He's not very big, he's quite close to the ground, so this thing is going to get covered in mud at some point. I want to be able to wash it in the washing machine, not go, like, have to be too careful with it. And so I went for Drops Extra Fine Merino, and so I had 3 balls in this color, 1 ball in this color. This is some yarn that I ordered. I ordered quite a large array. Well, I wouldn't say that. I ordered quite a few skeins of drop yarn, just like single skeins, so I could just feel what they felt like before ordering a bigger sweater quantity. I did that quite a while ago. I'm really happy I did that. So if you do have a bit of budget to do that, I would recommend it, because otherwise you end up ordering some yarn in a large quantity and it might be exactly what you expected or not at all. And if, like me, you don't really have or have a yarn store close by, but they don't stock a lot of brands, and definitely not the brands that I want to try, this is a bit of an issue with ordering online. If I go on a trip somewhere and there is a yarn shop there, I make sure to go there so I can feel lots of yarn. But then I also end up spending lots of money. So this was a way, especially for drops yarn, that is not very expensive, to test it. And so I had this one in stash, and so I knew what kind of weight it was and how it felt, and that's how I ended up ordering 3 balls of this for a dog sweater. After this little digression, we go back to the pattern. So if you are ready, then let's start knitting Archie's little sweater. And we're going to start, it's knitted top down, so we start with the ribbing at the top. Here we are with the little one, and I've reached the point where I'm supposed to separate for the legs, so it's inside out at the moment, but this is what it looks like at the moment. I've got some weird openings here where I made the make a one left, and on the other side where I make a one right, I don't have such gaping holes, but I don't know, it's not the neatest. I'm not a huge fan of how it looks in those places. But anyway, I can't change anything about that. But it's you can start to see a pattern emerge, and then here it's little squares. But I'm supposed to do one normal round now without increases. But before I do that, I need to put it on the dog, see if it's the right length, basically, for the separations of the, well, you would say arms, but it's the paws. So let's see. Don't eat the sweater, Archie, please. Come here. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. Okay, here we go, Popine. Popine is one of his many nicknames. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is, of course, supposed to go like this. There we go. Okay, it's a little bit tight on the needles. So this is supposed to be like here. So I'm scrunching it up here at the back because my cable is not long enough, but I think it should be okay. So this should be the right spot to divide for the sleeves. It's definitely long enough. So here we go, Archie. This is a little sweater. It's not too tight, so that's nice. He seems very impressed. As you can see, I'm sure I didn't make a little hole up here for his sleeve to come through. I think what we will do is just put his collar like on either on top of this and make it very loose, or it's just gonna have to like give a bit. I think I can now continue and split for. Feels a bit weird to say sleeves, but yeah, mini sleeves. You're such a good boy. Such a good boy. You tiny baby. Okay, I got to the part where I can separate for, well, I'm going to keep on saying sleeves. So I can remove my tiny little peppery marker. And the way I do this is these interchangeable needles are really perfect for this. Is I'm going to take the needle off. The cable is still very much in. Then I have this, I think it's called barber cord. I'm not sure. I used to, as a kid, use this for Scooby-Doo's, and I'm going to put that, let me show you a bit closer, on the thread of the needle. And then from there, it's super easy to just push it through and pull the other needle through. And you have to do a bit of both so that it works. But this is how I put things on hold, and this is also how I take things off. So if I wanted to take it off, I would get the end, I would put the cable like in the little thread, and I would pull the cable through, take this off, put the needle on. So in this case, I'm going to do the belly stitches, and do, for Archie's size, do about 10 centimeters. And there we go. This is the part where it gets a little bit, there we go. I can just pull this out, pull this little plasticky thing out, put my needle back on the cable. Go, and then pull this a little bit more so it's correct. Mark on the other side can go away as well. And so, oh, sorry for all the noise of the needle. But what I have now is the belly stitches on the cable with the needles, and the rest of the stitches are safely on this cord. If your barber cord is a bit small, or for example when I do sleeves and I'm going to move the rest of the garment around a lot, then I'll put these two together like this, and I'll just make a simple knot, just like that, pull it a little bit more, just like this, and this stays in. That's very practical. I think this is going to get in the way of me knitting this a bit, so I'm actually going to take it back out, but when I make sleeves I always do this. So there we go, should be fine. If I was scared that they would come off, I could also just make a knot in each end, and that would work as well. So there we go. Now I'm just gonna keep on knitting. So I've joined after finishing the sleeve thing, so let me show you. There we go. It's not mega neat because where I've joined it's a bit loose, but with the ribbing it will end up being okay. And this is the little extra pattern that you hadn't seen before. joining the podcast. That's very nice of you. Oh, making use of it straight away. Where are you going? You're supposed to stay here. Come here. Come on. Up on the lap. Very good. You're a good boy. He is a good boy. Today is Tuesday. I've just come back from the office from a very long commute. I'm tired, but long commute meant quite a bit of knitting. Mostly this morning, because then, well, let me show it to you instead of just talking about it. Hey Archie, how nice of you to join. So, I have joined a third ball. There's quite a lot of it left. And there's a lot of dog jumper as well, which is nice. It's for you, Archie. I have, I think, done as much as I want for the length, but oh, and I'm losing stitch markers here. But I need to try it on the dog before I start the ribbing. I could have started the ribbing of the little legs, but I didn't have the right needles because I'm knitting this on 6mm, and for the ribbing I need, I think it's 4.5 that I was using, maybe 5. I think 4.5. I'm not 100% sure anyway. But it's the one needles, my biggest size needle in terms of needle size that I have in shorties. And I only realized much later during the day that, well, technically I could have started ribbing off the bottom, because in my project bag I have 4.5mm needles. They're just on my champagne cardigan, but I could have put that on a cord and used the needles. I only realized that much later, and by then I kind of wanted to try it on him before starting the ribbing, and then get it home and then realizing it's too short. And I mean, we know the problem, so we're gonna try it on him. I might need to put it on a cord. I will need to put it on a cord, otherwise it's going to be needles in the way. I have a cord here, and we're going to need to take the ball. Arch, where are you going? I need you. He's just had his dinner and he's walking around looking for dessert, I think. Not that a dog gets desserts, but you know. Okay, let's make sure none of the stitches can escape. That would be sad, terribly sad. And then we can try it on him because I'll have enough length. There we go. Hey, Arch. The problem is that he is almost fully deaf. I mean, he will hear a whistle, but that's about it. So I talk to him and everything, but it's not like he can hear it. He still barks, though. I have to remember. Oh no, it's still attached to a ball of yarn, so it's fine. I know where I will be. Let's pull it like this. Okay, Mr. Puppy, come here. You're not quite in shot. How about you come over here? Come here. I think he's a bit confused as to where my husband is, but my husband is upstairs. Just that Archie has not realized this. Okay, let's put it the right side out. I mean, this is what the pattern looks like, which we're going to talk about in a bit more because Archie has already given up. I'm sorry, Papine. You have to come here. Come on. Come on. Good boy. You're the best boy. Yeah, I'm going to be annoying again. I'm sorry, Arch. There we go. I'll put that right in a moment. I need a little paw. Yeah, this is the part you don't really like, but we have to do it in order to try it. And of course, by that I mean you have to do it so that I can try this on you. Oh, I think it's going to be pretty perfect. Okay, he's kind of on the edge of the shot, but let me put him. Oh, no escaping. There's a ball of yarn attached to you. Okay, there we go. This is actually quite a good shot. So I think there's quite a bit of room for his paw, and this might have been a bit bigger than his size needs to, but I can tell from smaller coats or jumpers that he has, he doesn't like it when it's too tight, like lengthwise around his paws. So I think this is perfect. And then you can't see it very well, but because of the cable, this is sort of like almost flaring out a little bit. But I think, or it might be, I think if he sits down, he's a boy, the ribbing might touch his willy. But I think if he stands up, I think it's going to be perfect. And lengthwise, same thing. I think it's going to be nice and low on his back, which is going to keep him really nice and warm. Sorry, Arch, I'm going to tilt you a little bit towards here. And if you could stand up for us. Thank you, thank you. It is going to be over very soon. Okay, you have to make sure it's not pulled too much backwards. So there's so much hair. There we go. And if we just put it loosely like this, I think this is perfect. Let's just feel, yeah, there's enough space for ribbing before we get close to his willy. I'm sorry for talking about that, but it's important. It's a dog. He needs to be able to wear this outside and to go to the toilet. And then this is going to be quite low. I mean, this is because the cable is poking out. This looks like it's really a sharp edge, but it's not. It's just going to go nice and round around him. So I think we are ready for ribbing. So that's basically what I'm going to do this evening. Okay, Arch, before I continue talking, I think you're allowed to take this off. Thank you for your cooperation. It's very, very kind. Oh, at some point one of his paws is going to get stuck in here and he's going to kill this, but we're not there yet. There you go. Oh, and he escapes. Thank you. Yeah, that was very, very good. That was good. So you're supposed to put the belly stitches on hold and then you do the back flat, but I was like, I have enough cable length, I think, to leave it all on, and it was easier that way. So that's what I did today. I did have my like cord thing with me in the train, so I could have just put it on, but I was curious to see if it would work keeping all the stitches on the needles, and it did. Okay, almost there. And then we can talk about a few little things that I did. There we go. I mean, in the pattern, if you have the pattern, you will know that it says do decreases like after a certain amount of centimeters or inches after, well, the armhole. You start decreasing, and then it says to do a certain amount. I didn't even count. I just eyeballed it. I had looked at Archie yesterday, put this against him, and looked at approximately how much length I needed to do width decreases, and that's what I did, and it's fine. So it's one thing in a pattern that is just it's regular decreases. It's the same on every round, so it's super easy to do some more or a little bit less. So yeah, that's really good. One thing I'm not a super big huge fan of is this. On camera it doesn't maybe look too bad, but this middle pattern here, it, to me, you can't really see what the pattern is. It's supposed to be like rectangulars. Is that the best word for it? It's like they're tipped. There might be a better word for it, but whatever. With a little cross on the inside. But I don't know if it's my knitting. It's my knitting is quite loose, I have to say. I went up a lot of needle sizes. But so it's not the most defined, and so I felt like it was a bit weird. I like the other ones, the stripes and the squares, And so for this very bottom bit, I was supposed to start this thing again, but I knew I was almost done. And I was like, if I start to do this bit again, you won't even see what the pattern is supposed to be like, so it's just going to be odd and weird. And so I changed it to, well, let's see if you can actually see on camera. Oh, doesn't render very well either. Okay, so it potentially looks worse. Yeah, in real life it's not great either. What I try to do is the same sort of shape as up here, but a little bit smaller and without a cross on the inside, hoping it would keep it a little bit cleaner. But yeah, it's not great. But I've ended on, no, I'm saying it wrong. I think I need to do one more row. I'm not 100% sure. I did this in the morning and my memory is bad, so I've already forgotten. But if I need to do another row, it will be pearl knit, pearl knit, pearl knit, and then that could flow perfectly into the ribbing. That would be very satisfying. According to the pattern, I'm supposed to do a row of just pearls, but I might change that. I don't know. Just pearls might be like a nice way to just frame it too. Okay, not 100% sure. Stay tuned for more. For the ribbing, I made a small modification. In the pattern, it just says to bind it off after a certain amount of length. What I did is what I do for my own sweaters is I added 2 rounds of double knitting, so 1 purl, 1 knit, or in general the other way around. And then I did an Italian bind off so that it would be as neat as possible. And this is what it looks like. I ended up doing a row of purls before starting the ribbing. I did the same for, I want to see this, the cuffs, the sleeve cuffs, but the paw cuffs, or however you want to call them. So I did 2 rows of double knitting at the end and an Italian bind off. And I did all of that in magic loop, and I really don't like magic loop. Normally I like double pointed needles, but I made an exception for this time. I thought it was going to be handier, and it was a lot less length, of course, to go, so I survived the magic loop twice. Got the last end that I just weaved in, and it's done. It's finished. So let's put it the right side out and I can show you what it looks like. And then I'll put it on Archie, of course, and then you can see what that looks like. So here it is. It's quite small and it's got very tiny, cute little cuffs. And his paws will easily fit through there. I did one little thing that I started a magic loop on one side at the back and on one side at the front. I think you can just about tell if you know. But when it's going to be on Archie, no one's going to be able to tell. One other thing I did differently is you're supposed to stop the ribbing in the middle, under the belly, and I did it at the marker, but you can't. I don't think you can really see it anyway. Next morning it was misty and cold, so it was the perfect time to test the sweater on Archie outside. Congratulations if you're still here. You've made it to the last part of the video where the little dog sweater is finished and Archie just decided to walk away. Great, so I can't put this on him to discuss it, but you've just seen it, and if he comes back, I'll put it on him. But, oh, there's already a stain on it. Okay, he's worn it a little bit yesterday evening and mostly this morning, and there's already dirt on it. I'm not even sure from what, maybe from his collar. But yeah, this is why I wanted superwash wool. And I mean, I'm fairly positive about Drops. I think they do a great job offering like a budget option for knitting. I'm a big fan of their mohair, or a big fan is maybe a bit overstated. I think that for the price that you pay, you get a quite a good product, really. Is it the softest? No, but it's like half, if not a third, of the price of a very soft, high quality, expensive, fancy brand mohair. So if you don't have the budget or you want to make something that is not super expensive, then I think it's great. This yarn, it's been very easy to knit with. I'm very happy that I chose it. It's easy, it's not splitty, it's just nice. I have nothing else to say about it. It's nice. Is it great? No, but it's nice. It's nice enough. The way I would explain it, I thought about it yesterday. Like, how do I put this into words? And the way I would explain this is that some yarns are nice and squishy, and this is on the plasticky side of squishy. So I would say this is spongy. And so there's nothing wrong with it if you don't mind that feeling. I mean, I got used to like not superwash yarns, and so I've been a bit spoiled by that, I think. So I did this to myself, and it's a choice to knit with those yarns, knowing that washing them is not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but I'm okay with that. So this is, I think it's getting used to superwash a little bit again. And then also I think even for a superwash yarn, this one is on the plasticky side. It's a very tight twist, but it's somehow still quite loose, which means it's, yeah, the spongy feeling, squishy, whatever you want to call it. So that was the yarn. How did that feel? Then Archie's back, so we're going to put this on him. Puppy, can you come here, please? Oh, yes, I'm going to put the thing on you. I'm sorry. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you're such a good boy. Oh, yes, I'm going to be bad, evil person for putting this back on you. But it's not for long, I promise. We can take it off very soon. First little paw. Oh, don't fall. There we go. And the second one. There we go. And I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, overall, this fits quite well, and the gauge was right because I could do the amount of stitches recommended. I made the, if Archie stands up a bit more, here the armholes a little bit deeper, which is really easy in this pattern because it's just two straight bits next to each other. So that's very easy to do. So if your dog needs a bit more movement, it's very easy to do it. But my one thing, and I think that's to do with my gauge and the needle size I chose to use, not with Sari's design per se. And before I forget, there were quite a few comments on Ravelry saying that there were errors in the pattern. I did not follow it like 100% because there's a few bits where I was like, oh yeah, no, I know what to do. So I did not maybe read it the best, but I couldn't find any errors. That is in the English version, so that's good news. Then back to, for next time, what I would do is I would knit the ribbing in a tighter, on a smaller size needle. So I used 4.5mm needle. So I did the same thing as in the pattern, where it goes down half a needle size. So instead of using a 4 for the body, it uses a 3.5 to do the ribbing. And I went up a needle, a whole needle size. So I knit this in 5, and so I use a 4.5 for the ribbing. When he wears it, he looks really sad now, but I promise he's not being mistreated or anything. But when he wears it, this gradually sort of moves down a bit. And that is because I think this ribbing is not quite tight enough, and so it can move down his body, and it's not quite the look that we want. We want it to be nice and like just a rolled edge collar. I mean, I could knit the collar down, could just have it like that and knit it down on the inside, which now that I'm putting it like this, I might do it because that looks really fancy and nice. And I don't know why I didn't do this before, but yeah, and Archie is done with it. Archie, let me take it off you before you go anywhere. But that is the one thing that if I would do this again, I would do it slightly differently, or I would try to, I don't know, maybe do like a little braided stitch or something to keep it a little bit tighter around the neck. Okay, my microphone the battery is just dead. It went for another couple minutes and then it died again. So I hope this audio will be fine. We're gonna see. But the only thing that we need to talk about is the cost. So the pattern cost me €7.53. It's actually cheaper on Ravelry than it is on Sari Nordlund's website. Weirdly enough, it's not a big difference, but still. And then in terms of yarn, I used, I would say 2.5 skeins of this. So the pattern says that you need 200 grams. However, that's because the pattern uses 100 gram skeins, and you do not need 200 grams for size 3, which is what I did for Archie. And I think this is the lengths of like on the back and everything that are recommended in the pattern, so pretty accurate, and 150 grams will definitely get you there. 125 grams might get you there as well, but don't pin me down on that. I've not weighed this, but this just had a couple swatches out and this is what I have left, so I think something like that. Buy 3 50-gram skeins and you'll be fine. And so the total amount that I spent is €15.93 for the cutest little dog jumper ever. So there we go. Money well spent, I would say. Earlier I talked about these little lines, so you can see that on one side you can't see where I did my increases. You can a little bit. but you don't see it too much. And then on the other side, and I think this is the make. Oh, no, don't focus on my face. There you go. I think these are the make, right? Yeah. And for some reason, those are a lot looser. I think that's a me problem since it's not on both sides. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I should have twisted those stitches as well. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It looks quite different, but I have not been able to find out why exactly. If you know, let me know down in the comments. So there we go. This was the Alvar dog sweater patterned by Sari Nordlund, and I'm super happy with it, and I think it's really cute. And this was my very first project vlog as well. I mean, it was a tiny project, so it was quite easy to do it for. But I might do more of these. But let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this, or you can give it a like if you don't feel like writing down a comment. I am still planning to do a second dog jumper, I think, with the Lookout, which is a free pattern by Drops, but not 100% sure about that, in autumn. So if you would like to knit dog jumpers with me, then stay tuned. So you can subscribe on the channel, or you can follow me on Instagram, and I will post on there about doing a knit along for sure when that comes up. My details for Instagram are linked down below. Of course, the pattern is linked down below as well. I will not have time to make the Ravelry page for my project yet, but I will do that as soon as possible, and then I will link it down in the description as well. But if you're very early at looking at this, it will not be there yet. I'm sorry. And then that was it for today. Next week is going to be April's pattern roundup. There's some really gorgeous things about there. I thought, oh, maybe I can record it this weekend already, and then every time I think that, new patterns come in and I'm like, no, I have to wait until the end of the month, because you never know when designers decide to drop an absolute gorgeous pearl. So I have to wait a little bit longer before recording that. But if you want to see that, then come back next Friday at 5 p.m. Central European time. And yeah, that's it. I don't have anything to add to that. And then in the meantime, of course, have a lovely week or weekend, depending on when you see this. Enjoy your knitting, and see you next week. Bye bye.